as you can see, our next guest is back and now connecting celebrities with their loved ones in the spirit world. And she has a new book called Good Grief. Please welcome the Long Island medium, Teresa Caputo.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
First of all, you look phenomenal, and your body is crazy.
Thank you.
What are you doing?
I don't eat bread. And I work out.
Chasing spirits.
Yes, chasing spirit.
Right, right.
So you're always doing readings for people.
Yes.
Anything recently that has really moved you?
You know, I don't mean to sound cliche, but every reading moves me. But I was just in Pennsylvania 2 weeks ago doing a live show, and there was a young man in the audience, and unfortunately he lost his dad. And his dad was coming through saying, you know, I'm so sorry I wasn't able to be the father that you needed me to be, and for abandoning you. And I asked the father to validate something with validation. He says, ask my son about the post office. And he looked at me and he goes, well, I can't connect with the post office. And then his mom whispered in his ear, and then he said to me, when my dad abandoned me at the age of 7 and left me on the corner, it was in front of the post office.
Ooh. Oh my God.
So, you know, you sit back, because I'm always saying, you know, I'm the first one to say what I do is crazy. How can someone communicate with someone that has died? But those are the little moments where you sit back and you say, there's no way she would have known that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So would you say, when we all wonder, like, when people pass in our lives, like, where do they go, and are they happy, and where are they? Like, how do they connect with you?
Okay, well, we become energy, okay? Our souls become energy, and spirit lives life through our eyes. That's why they want us to live with happiness and joy, and a lot of times it's really hard to do that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like spirit will talk about what they do on the other side, the things that they'd like to do here. Some children will say they're greeters of the young children that depart. So, you know, it all depends, but they're living life through our eyes, so that's why they want us to embrace life.
So you're saying that sometimes when a young person passes away, they take care of the children that come?
They might greet, especially if they die tragically, they might greet them and say, you know what, everything's going to be okay. But even people that have near-death experiences, they'll tell me, I was never afraid. I felt like I was floating and I was looking down, but I was never afraid. I was immediately at peace.
Wow.
People also talk, you know, after someone passes in their life, seeing signs, hearing things, seeing things. Yeah. What does that mean? Well,
the thing is, I talk about this in my book, that you cannot be like, okay, Mom, I'm going to see, you know, 2 birds and 4 butterflies by 4 o'clock today.
Right.
You know, I always tell all my clients, look for anything that is odd, weird, different, or a coincidence. Know that that's them, if it reminds you of your loved ones. Like, sometimes you might just feel someone standing next to you, or someone tap you on the shoulder, or you might see on the clock 111 or 333, or hear a song on the radio. You might smell cigarette smoke. Spirit loves to play with the television, with the volume up and down, flickering of lights. Just embrace it and know that it's them.
I've told this story before on the air. My grandmother, who we lived with when she passed away, she would visit us for a long time afterwards, because she wore Shalimar, and we would know she would come in because we would smell Shalimar. It would just waft in, and it would sit near us, and then away it would go. And then we would always long for her to come back.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's a comforting feeling.
It's just that validation that they're with us, that we will see them again, and more importantly, that they're at peace.
So intrigued. I could spend days with her.
I know.
She's not going anywhere. We're going to come right back with readings from the Long Island medium, Teresa Caputo.
To measure my brain.
Oh, no, talk about it. Tell me about that. You said
on Long Island medium,
So you were on the Long Island medium, and you had your brain scan.
Yeah.
So
I did.
So what do they measure, like
my brain waves as I read, and there it is. There's the lovely.
Unbelievable.
What I was more impressed with on how my hair bounced back after I took the cap off, but this world-renowned brain expert studied my brain waves, and he said that I access a part of our brain that we don't when I read.
We were just talking about if you sense spirit or something like beside me, like with a stranger, will you just start talking to somebody and mention it?
You know, it's interesting. Whenever I'm in a room, no matter where I am, I always sense and feel things. It's when spirit pushes me enough to say something.
Right.
So 2 souls actually stepped forward as when we started to come back from break. But I am going to start with, well, I have to start with because he's laboring my breathing so much. Because what happens is I feel the energy, I feel the souls, so they will make me feel how they feel, how they died. So, okay. So I'm gonna start. I want to start with the father figure that departed from the chest because he's laboring my breathing, and there's some type of restriction, and then he just tells me that he died suddenly.
There's a family right there.
Is it? But was there also the husband that also departed? Okay. See, because what happened is as soon as I connected to the area, they all started stepping forward. So we have the father and we also have the husband. This is what I refer to as piggybacking. This is why it is very, very powerful when you attend one of my live shows or just watching Long Island Medium where Spirit will have me say things that you can connect with, okay? So how do you understand the father figure? Okay. And then we're going to go over here as well. So and it's your husband too, so we're going to kind of all piggyback it together. There were two things. One of them told me that, did he like die in front of you? Or did you want to, because I just died. And then I was like, there was no time. And I feel like if I reacted sooner, I could have saved him. I would have been able to do more if I only knew. Grieving should be good, a positive way of healing, not to go back and be with this should have, could have, would have, and this only if that I could have saved him. Do you understand that? Yeah. Or even if we went to the doctor, is this your grandfather that departed? Do you see him and you feel him a lot? So know that that's real, sweetheart. Don't be afraid. Because he tells me that he tried to tell you that he's okay, right? And you see that he's happy when you feel him? And when you see him, know that he's just letting you know that he is okay. And you were just on some type of stage performing? Okay, so just know that he was watching you. So if you feel when you sit there and you say, he's missing out, he doesn't see me. This is the thing about Spirit. They acknowledge the things going on in our lives now to validate that they're not missing out. So know, because he tells me you also felt him when you performed. So know that what you feel, know that that truly is him and he's not missing out. That they know of all of your milestones that you achieve here in the physical world. Your father keeps telling me no regrets, no regrets. He's holding the hand. Do you understand that? Were you holding his hand as he departed?
I found him dead. When you're talking about he died suddenly.
And did you feel his soul? Because what happens is when Spirit, when they made me, he made me feel the holding of the hand and I got the chill throughout my body. That is my symbol for that. You feel his soul. You feel him. Know that that truly is him. And he goes, tell her I'm still the best dresser. So he came forward all dressed and all like Dapper Dan. So if he was a very... I'm sorry?
His name's Dan.
Perfect. To validate that his soul is at peace, but more importantly, that you could not have done anything. This is the thing. This is why I do what I do. It took me a long time to embrace my gift because I didn't realize people are left with burdens and guilt. These should have, could have, would haves. Don't stop living because your loved one departed. I know it's hard, but we need to continue with life. I want to talk about the young man that departed from the tragedy. I want to talk about the restriction of the throat. So we either passed from something of the restriction of the throat or there was something that he digested. Do you understand that? They're telling me to come over here. Young male for me is anyone that left the physical world before we feel their time. Okay. How do you understand that, ma'am?
Best friend,
Son?
My son's
Okay.
best friend.
Can you stand up, please? And how do you understand that?
One of my friends.
Okay. Because I felt like it was like a brother energy, but I also felt a son. Do you understand that? Even though it's not your son, he called you mama. And do you understand this too? You were very close? Okay. I'm going to talk about the struggles that they had. Do you understand that? And he says, I struggled for so long. My family is left with the guilt of saying we should have been more on top of him. I knew he wasn't okay. He says, I want to take responsibility for that. Don't you carry that burden. You did everything. Because he shows me the ups and downs, and then he shows me at the top of the mountain, and then all of a sudden he just died. He says, I want to thank you for letting me live my life, letting me be me, and giving me the life that I had. My soul is at peace. I don't want you to feel that you could have or should have been able to prevent my departure. You would not have known that I had gone back.
So Teresa's going to finish up our readings, but don't forget the Long Island Medium returns Sunday at 8 p.m. on TLC. And Teresa's book, Good Grief, comes out March 14th. And when we return...
BB Rex is here. She's going to perform for us. Be right back.